System Center Configuration Manager comes with a database associated with it, and the whole purpose of that database is to store information. So potentially what we'll be doing is doing hardware, software inventories, software metering, and what we'll do is we'll then take that data and we'll do something with that data that we're storing. And one of the things we can do is we can run queries. A query is just that, it is a query against the database and reports back information that we're interested in, either from a troubleshooting point of view or potentially from a management point of view. In order to access these queries, what we do is we come into our monitoring workspace within our Config Manager console. Then what we do is we just come to our queries node, and in our queries node, as we can see here, we already have some queries associated with Configuration Manager. If we're not happy with the ones we've got, or the ones we have are not useful to us, what we can do is we can create our own. In order to do that, a couple of different ways to do it. I can either highlight my queries node and click Create Query in the ribbon, or what I can do is I can right click on queries and click Create Query. So I'm going to create a query. I want to know about all London systems. So one of the mandatory bits of information we have to fill in is we do have to fill in a name. As it says here, can't continue unless we enter a name. I'm going to call mine all Lon systems. The next thing we need to do is we then just need to start building our query. So just from an admin point of view, I suppose I should really put some comments in here. So let's call this all Lon systems as well. I'm not going to import a query and modify a query. I'm actually going to create my own. I'm going to do that based off an object type as system resource. I'm going to do that against all collections. So we've got not collection limiting, basically means run against all collections. Limit to a certain collection where we can target and get granular information, or prompt for a collection, and we utilize this query over and over again. I'm going to do this against a system resource, but as you can see, I have a number of different things we can do the query against. I'm calling my query all on systems, so I'm going to do mine against a system resource. I'm just going to click edit my query statement, and now what I want is I want to tell the query which information I actually want out of the database itself. So I'm on my general page at this point here, and as I say, specify the attributes to search and how they will be displayed when the query is run. I'm not going to turn on the tick to omit duplicate rows, but what we'll do is select our new button. Then what we'll do is for our attribute, we're going to select the select button. I'm going to do this against the system resource, and the first attribute I'm interested in is Active Directory Site System Name, and select OK. Select OK again. Then what we'll do is we'll select another attribute, again a system resource, click on the attribute drop down. I want IP addresses, so I've just hit the I key on my keyboard. Come down to my IP addresses and select OK. Select OK again. Then what we'll do is we'll go for new again, select, and I want to know the last person that logged on to this system. So click on our attribute drop down, just do an L for last, go for last logon username, and then finally what we'll do is, this won't really make much sense unless we have the name in the column. So let's select another attribute, system resource yet again, click on the drop down, hit N, go for name, and select OK. I'm not going to bother sorting anything, I'll just select OK. Now I've told my query which bits of information I'm interested in. I now need to target this against something. So we'll click on the criteria tab, and on the criteria tab we'll specify our criteria by selecting the new button. Then what we're going to do is just hit our select button. And what we're interested in here is we're interested in a system resource. So what we'll do is we'll just do SY, go for our system resource, and the attribute that we're interested in here is reporting about name. So we'll do this against the name and select OK. Now I could put is equal to and type in London. I'm not 100% sure if I call the computers London or Lon or something else. So what we'll do is rather than is equal to, we'll go for is like. And then we'll just specify a variable. So let's just do %lon%. Click the OK button. Just have a quick look at the query language to see exactly what it's going to do. And select OK. Select our next button. Quickly read through our summary. Select next. Happy with everything in there, select close. Just to make sure it works, we'll just have a look down here. So there's my all on systems. We'll just right click and we'll select run. As you can see, it's reported back the Active Directory site name that everything's in, the IP addresses associated with the devices. We can see the last logon username, and we can see the name of the system itself. Now that we've done that, that's potentially something that hackers could use in order to figure out exactly what our systems are called, IP addresses, and then discover the attack surface within our system. So I'd ideally like to know when that was ran and who ran it. So if I just come into File Explorer, what we have here is on C:, if I go into Program Files, Microsoft Configuration Manager, and then Logs. One of the logs I have down here is my smsprov.log file. So let's just open that up. We'll just open that up with our Config Manager Trace tool. Now that we've done that, we just want to find out information about that query that was just ran. So one of the things we can do here is we can use our tools and our find button to find some information. So I want to find %lon%, and then we'll select our find button, and as we can see here, yep, a query has been ran. We can see the provider it was ran against, we can see the date and time it was ran against. So at this point here, we know the query's been ran. We can now do some investigation to find out who ran it and why it was ran. And that's the end of this demonstration. Thank you.